More Fast and the Furious discussion. This time we're focusing. Well, I guess you could say we're focusing on the franchise as a whole when it mattered. Um, Parts 5 through 187, I don't consider to be part of the franchise. Speaking specifically about the first three movies. Four movies, sorry. The first four movies. Brian won. Brian won. He was the better driver. Dom beat him one time without cheating. That was in the original movie, the first time they raced. He legitimately beat him without cheating. The final race of the film, their drag race, you can see that the spoiler of the Supra is clearly ahead of the Charger. Not only that, but Dom loses his shit and crashes his car like a loser that he is, bald-headed Dom. Has anybody ever told you that Vin Diesel is actually gay in real life? Like, he hides it. He tries to hide it, but he's actually gay. There's a lot of proof out there. Vin Diesel isn't in Too Fast, Too Furious. Vin Diesel has a cameo appearance in Tokyo Drift at the very end of the movie. He doesn't do anything. He just shows up for like 2 seconds and says something. And then the fourth film, he loses to Brian. Brian won that race. Dom cheated. We can all acknowledge that. But Brian, well, he went far beyond just winning the race. He basically had to overcome fucking hell just to get into the race as it was happening, and then he won it. But Dom cheated at the last second and spun him out. So we're gonna call that a W for Brian. And yeah, I don't know why I remember this, because I don't care about the other movies past that point. I watched them up until 6. After 4. 5 was a good heist movie, but it was like, I don't know, I kind of felt like it was a shittier Mission Impossible type movie. Like, if I want that kind of action, I'll watch Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. But it was decent for what it was. Part 6 was when they went full retard, but I did shitty and retarded and forgettable and worthless as that series has become in that movie also. Brian beat Dom again in a race in that movie. I think it was 6. I could be mixing them up. 6 was the last one I watched from start to finish. And that was when I was like, okay, I'm done. I've had enough Fast and Furious. This isn't Fast and Furious anymore. I think that was the one that introduced Gal Gadot, however you pronounce her last name. I've always liked her. I love the first Wonder Woman film. Because of her, she's sexy as fuck. And that end battle with Ares was badass as all hell. But, yeah. So, I'm trying to count all their races together. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 that I know of. They raced 4 times. And Dominic only won 1. That is official. Brian is 4-1 against Dominic Toretto. You heard it here first. That fucking Supra, spoiler, was in front of that Dodge Charger when they were flying across the train tracks. And Dominic cheated in the fourth film, thus making his win. It disqualified him. He lost. So, Brian O'Connor versus Dominic Toretto, the current stats remain 4-1 in Brian O'Connor's favor. Just a little fan trivia for you. Oh, I know things. I do.